So welcome back to another episode. Now, a lot of people have been asking me online, quite a few people have been asking me online, what I think about Final Fantasy 15. It's finally been released. It is not a dream, it is not a joke, it has finally happened after so many years. The build up, the hype. How is it? And I promise you one thing, I'm not going to show any footage here, and I'm not going to talk about any spoilers at all in this. I'm just going to talk about some early impressions of the game, what I think about it and all of that. And yes, I didn't get a leaked copy. A lot of people got leaked copies in the stores about a week ago. I did not get one of those. I got one of them when they were officially released. So let's get into it. I got a lot to say here. I'm going to say first of all this. I like the game. In fact, I love the game. It's incredible. I had to get that out of the way to begin with. It's so relieving for me to be able to say that. It really is, because I don't know, this game for me there's been so much build up, there's been so much hype. It was like the build up to, episode 7, the build up, could any game live up to this hype? And they've shown so many movies. I've stayed away from all of that. I played the few demos that came out. And to be honest with you, the demos that I played, they gave me a mixed reaction. I didn't really know what to think. I didn't know who these characters were. I didn't have any context of anything. They just kind of threw you in and said, here you go, and you're fighting in the wilderness, and it's like, who are all these people, in their S&M leather gear? What is this? Where am I? Why is it action-based? Do I like this? Do I not like it? I was really confused. I didn't really know what to think when I played the demos, and so... and there's been so many movies, so much hype, and I'm like, I stayed away from all of it after that. And I'm like, I'm just going to play the game and see how it is. But I went in with low expectations, honestly. And it's funny to say that. I was like, yeah, I'll try it out. Because, I'm not saying anything. 13 came out, and I was not a huge fan of the 13 series. I didn't, I was a little lukewarm on it. I didn't hate it. I wasn't like, oh, fuck this or anything. But it just wasn't for me. But let me say this. Final Fantasy 15 is for me. It's a masterpiece. It really is. I can honestly say that. And it feels so good to be able to come in and just honestly say that. It feels wonderful. A lot of times I'll get a new game or a new RPG, I'll start playing it, and I'm like, yeah, this is pretty good, and that's about it. And you go through the paces, and it's not a bad experience. Where this game, everything about it just blows my mind. It's so... Okay, let's just talk about... I'll get the graphics out of the way first. We'll just get that out of the way. The graphics are stupendous, but we already knew that. We already knew the graphics were going to be fantastic. But when I'm running through the land, I don't see any pop-up. There's nothing that seems out of whack. Oh, that graphical thing looks bad, or that looks. It all looks stunning. It's a pure pleasure to run around this world and explore. I mean, it is incredible. Like there's so much stuff to discover and explore. I love open world RPGs more than anyone. That's what I like. I love the sense of exploration, and this game has got that and then some. You just feel that you could go anywhere and do anything that you wanted to do. It has that kind of freedom right from the very beginning. So graphic-wise, all that is working really good. How is the combat? This is something that I was very apprehensive about, especially after playing the demo. I'm like, I don't know if I like Final Fantasy having action-based combat. It works so well. It is so much fun. And that is the key to any combat. Are you having fun? Are you in control? Do you have a lot of options? The answer is yes and yes to all of that. There's so many options in combat, linked attacks with your teammates. Never mind you being able to warp and then strike attacks. I mean, there's so much great stuff you can do in combat. I have been loving it, and I like it more than I ever did in the demo. The demo, I was like, I don't know about this combat. That demo ruined it for me. I should never have played the demo. I should have gone straight into the game itself. And that's why I think sometimes don't base an opinion on a demo, because it's not the finished game. And this finished game is great. Okay, storyline. I remember I was just thrust in. I had no idea what was going on in the demo. This game sets it up beautifully, and I'm not going to talk about any of the storyline. I promise you, I'm not going to give any spoilers. But the story makes total sense. It's so simplistic. It's so easy. To begin with, you know exactly what's going on. You know exactly where you're at. Where when I played 13, I really didn't know what the fuck was going on. I'm like, where am I? What am I doing? Who's what? I was really confused in 13 quite a lot of time. This game just feels like the return to simplicity. In a sense that I know the story, it's very easy to understand. I like the characters. I'm already enjoying the characters. I was enjoying the characters in the first 5 minutes. And that says something. I could connect with them. I understand who they are and what they're doing. It's very, very simple. And I like that. So, yeah, gameplay-wise, control-wise, how is that? It's beautiful. It's beautiful. You're always in control. It always works incredibly well. I mean, when you hit any button to do any kind of attack or to do any jump command or anything or in any interaction, perfect. I mean, it's so funny to say that I don't have any complaints. Oh, I'm just so in awe that it's turned out so good. And this game has been delayed and delayed and delayed. And we've all been upset by the delays, but I've often said in the past, I'm really happy when they delay a game. You know, rather than rushing out a game that's bad and controls, it sucks and then you're all mad about that. In fact, I'm glad that we had to wait as long as we have because this game right now is a masterpiece, honestly. It's like, this deserves the name Final Fantasy, and I'm just so happy with it. I'm so happy that I can come and gush about it today. It's what's my recommendation to you guys? If you like RPGs, I think you'll really like this game. If you're a little on the fence about the combat, please give it a shot. It's really a lot of fun. Give the game a chance. Give the game a chance. If you've ever been ruined by any Final Fantasy game, come back to this one. Give it a shot. I really just want people to have fun with video games. I don't want anybody to have a bad time. That's not, what I want to recommend. I think there's something for everybody in this game. There really is. I can just go on and on. The visuals are stupendous. The amount of detail is extraordinary. You can almost see why this game took so long to come out. This is a work of incredible genius. There's so much going on here. They've done a really good job of updating everything and making it really modern and really fun. And that's the thing. I'm coming back to that again, is that it's so much fun. You will have a fun time playing this game. The monster designs, the world designs. I'm running around sometimes and I'm in awe of the design of the world. I cannot believe how much thought was put into it. It's not just like, oh, we'll put some houses over here, this here. It looks like it's a real lived-in world. There's there's underground tunnels and tubes coming out and that go into you can see how everything is connected and works. It's hard to describe, but I think when you're experiencing the world, you get it, that it feels like a real lived-in world. That it's very old and there's a lot of history to it. And I must admit, I was a little bit. I don't know about the whole driving, being in a car and being on a cell phone in a Final Fantasy game, but it works really perfectly. It's just, you can understand that there's a lot of technology on this world. It's very modern, but there's a lot of mythical monsters and history there, and it's a pure pleasure to experience this game and to go around and discover brand new things. And it's a pure. I'm totally thrilled. I'm totally thrilled. This has been so long coming, and I got the game last night. And I was like, I don't know. I'm nervous. Bit of sweat. I was expecting to be disappointed, and I completely was the opposite direction. So, I hope anybody who's playing it right now is having a really good time with the game. Is having a lot of fun, and if you're not into the game, that makes sense too. It's not, video games aren't for everybody. They're not meant to be. I'm just coming in to say my little opinion right now that I think Final Fantasy 15 is fucking awesome. I think it's fantastic. I'm really, really impressed. I'm really just elated to come and say this today. So I think that's all I'm going to say for now. I'll come back in the future and probably be talking about the game in a few more weeks when I get way more into it. So anyways, guys, until next time.